working on a book called Design und künstliche Intelligenz, which translates exactly into design and artificial intelligence. And it's a little bit of an advertisement here, the first couple of seconds. So what the book does, let me quickly run through the content and then go into stuff that I think is interesting for you guys to know from the book in terms of what we're discussing today. So the book is dealing with, of course, teaching a little bit of the basics of AI to designers, and it specifically wrote to teach designers. Because we thought that is, for designers, there's no book out there that actually explains it in terms of how can we understand what AI is and not be an expert. So we look at design, AI as a design tool, and also as a design material. So these things are super interesting. And then we look at how AI is changing the design practice, the design job, the role of designers. We look into design use cases, so what is out there, what has been done. And of course, how do you start as a designer with coding knowledge or no coding knowledge, with any kind of knowledge, how do you start and engage with AI? So this is basically the book. And what I think is interesting from the book is, first of all, designers, in our perspectives, what we found is designers don't become obsolete. So this is maybe the good news here. But there's always a but. This is a positive but. They're more productive. Of course, there are tasks that are going to be automated. Still, I mean, we see that today. We cannot neglect it. But the interesting part, and I want to talk a little bit about this today, is that we also have huge opportunity to augment designerly knowledge, designerly skills. And Anne already talked about augmentation, but let me pick up and then go a little bit into the details. So I brought 3 little examples, but first of all, I want to maybe elaborate a little bit more on what does it mean to automate or to augment. So automation is something that supports tasks that are repetitive, that are relatively easy to define into discrete steps, and hence can be automated. Augmentation, on the other hand, is something that supports the decision-making process. And the decision-making process, in this case, is usually in a scenario where the scenario is very complex. Let me elaborate by showing you an example from MIT CSAIL. So as you can see, it's a design process. It's something that you can, through sliders, change the way the chair is designed. But on top of the design, the actual design, is a heat map. And this heat map shows the stress distribution of this certain artifact. And designers can intuitively see when they change something like height or width or anything that you want to change, how the stress is distributed throughout the artifact. And this way you can, in this case, it's physical law, natural law. You can see where does this artifact break. So it's very interesting because before that, you have to guess, is my designed artifact going to survive the testing, maybe for a car company or anything that is used in physical design. So, and with this tool, you can actually see where it will break. And this way, the complex scenario is the physical law. You cannot see, you cannot feel, you cannot touch the physical law, but by bringing these two things together, by augmenting a designerly skill and keeping it repetitive, intuitive, the design stays the same, but the AI augments the capability of the designer. Is that clear? I don't feel like, okay. And you can easily, because AI is so versatile, if there's a statistical connection between an input and an output, AI will most likely can be trained and can learn this kind of connection. And you can easily see use cases from all over the place. For years, for web design, when AI learned web designs and can replicate or basically infer where the attention of potential users will go to. So instead of like testing this thing for hundreds of hours, the AI is pretty much augmenting the capability of designers by showing exactly where the attention is going through, and this way designers can iteratively and very fast work on their designs and change the designs basically. All right. And a third example would be from the realm of graphic design. So what we see here is if you start designing, you hate the empty page, the blank page. Not only does it prevent you from starting at the blank page, but also if you give the tool a certain amount of elements, the tool will suggest how to arrange these elements. On the left side, you see like small changes, like tweaks, and on the right side, you see big changes, brainstorm new ideas. So this is also a great way. I mean, for seasoned designer, it's obviously not that helpful, but for young designers, for people with no experience in the design world, it's really helpful to see, okay, these changes can be made, they look good, and if I want to change the design drastically, I can also like change it. This is augmentation, and I think maybe we should talk about augmentation in the panel. That's my suggestion. And I also want to give you some rough bullet points what I think designers need to have in terms of skills in the future to not become obsolete. So the first thing is, I think, or we think, derived from our book, is that designers, they not so much stay problem solvers, but problem finders. I think this is a huge thing. I think we can talk about this, how to find problems, proper problems, how to frame problems. Designers are the advocates for users' needs. I think we see that in technology often, that we kind of like change the perspective to technology and want to engage with technology or use technology as a company, and then totally forget the user, which means the product is pretty much unusable. So designers make sure that this perspective stays on track. And also we think that designers become the experts for intelligence experience. And with intelligence experience, I mean everything that is user experience in terms of interacting with intelligent products, with products that have smart technology implemented. And of course, we think that designers need a basic understanding of what AI is. And also, they need two very, I think, pivotal skills as judgment integration and data storytelling. So judgment integration means that you as a designer know not only how to design on pen and paper or with like your old-fashioned methods, but also what are the tools that are smart, that are intelligent, and how do you produce a certain result with these tools? And do you need to change or adapt your thinking about the tools, or do the tools work properly in terms of what you want to achieve? Do you have to do it in a different way? So knowing how to change and what kind of tools to use is, with intelligent products, more than ever a question of knowing your tools and to judge whether certain tools lead to the right result. So, and data storytelling is interesting because designers, since they are advocates for user needs, they need to know what are potential user stories, user needs in big amounts of data. So this is something that is maybe uncharted territory, and I think ChatGPT will maybe bring a lot of new use cases to this kind of data storytelling by revealing these user stories, by asking with ChatGPT a bunch of data to reveal these kinds of user stories. But I think designers are the ones who are the experts for data storytelling. I'm sorry. I think I clicked the wrong button. Okay, the there's another one that designers should train interactive machine learning systems. I think it for you maybe sounds maybe threatening, but go out and play with teachable machine. I think it's a very fun, cool toy for you guys to just like get into teaching a machine to do stuff for you. And of course, designers have the ability to critically assess the impact of AI and the impact of their design product, and to see where things lead. I think Anne talked about the ethics, and it plays into this a lot. And last not least, I don't know if you can read it, but I spell it out for you. Designers, they work in agile, interdisciplinary projects, because developing an intelligent tool is not a job for a designer only. You work in teams with data science, with ML engineers, with business experts, with all of these people. And for that, we have something for you, because on Friday we released a framework for doing that. It's called Flume, and we are proudly presenting Flume for the first time to an audience. It's free, it's open source, you can go and download it on Figma. And what Flume does, it is helping you actually creating intelligent products by providing you with a framework for doing so. And you have these rooms, and you work through the rooms. You have an avatar, you can use the avatar to go through the rooms. And you get assignments, and you have certain roles, for example, designer or machine learning engineer or data scientist. And you work through these rooms, do your assignments, and as a group progress through developing a product with intelligence basically baked into it, and the fun thing is that you can change everything according to your needs. So we have this kind of like end-to-end framework for developing an MVP with intelligence experience, but you can also like take out rooms, change rooms, do different assignments as you like, because it's in Figma, it's built with LabKit, and it's easily adaptable to your needs. So go out and download it and use it, and we're happy for your feedback and see how this is flying, and if it really is that we hope that it is a useful tool for developing intelligence experience. All right, that's it from me.